on ships, toast to the night. Flavors of the world, everything feels right. Raise your glass, let the good times flow. Sips on ships, let's go, let's go, let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Eventyoursofspirits, Spirits, and welcome to Sips on Ships. Today, we will be talking about Piano Bar 88, which may be named a little different on each of the Carnival ships. But basically, it's the place where people congregate and come together, and they sing, and they get drunk, and they sing off tune, and they try to sing with the piano player, or the piano player just does a lovely job at just navigating through all of those untuned voices. But anyway, we all sound good once we had a couple of cocktails, right? So today we will be joined by Carnival Cruise Addicts. So let me go and bring them on to the set.
Hello, Tanya.
Hello again. How are y'all doing?
You don't want singing in the piano bar ever, drunk or not.
But that's the best part, is you give them a request so you can sing along.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? The ones that sit at the bar, like at the piano or near the piano, are the ones that can't sing the most.
They're the worst.
But they want to sing the loudest.
Yep.
That's because they had too many of these, which we'll be talking about.
But that's what the purpose of the piano bar is to go in and sing like you're singing in the shower, right? There you go.
And hopefully they have their clothes on, because some of those people, you don't want to see them without their clothes on.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, Piano Bar 88, Piano Bar, the Blue Bar, Blue Note, whatever it's called, regarding on what Carnival ship you're on, there is a piano bar, whether it's called that or not. But I can tell you that my experiences with the piano bar has been where they're either dueling with the pianos or the person is doing the majority, but they usually want interaction. I've actually enjoyed my experiences at the piano bar. I find that the menu is a little limited for me, but doesn't mean you can't ask for anything. What have been your experiences with the piano bars for your years of cruising on Carnival?
So like they have Piano Bar 88, which is like the blue themed, where it's, you know, very elegant. Some of the older ships though, they have much different decor, like it's unique per ship, and we really enjoy that. I think the nighttime when people have had a bunch of liquor and they're in there and they're singing and then they're tipping the guy and they're getting the song and then they're singing with them. It's fun. It's exciting. People really enjoy it. It gets really crowded in there. So if you want to go, you got to go early.
Yeah.
But it can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, early. This is not a bar that opens on noon on any given day. Most of the time it's 6, 8, 10 o'clock till these bars even open. You know, so it's a different crowd. It's like you said, to open it up, people that sing like myself that can't sing and shouldn't sing. But normally there's so many people singing, they don't hear my cat cry in the background. But it is really, the environment in there is so fun. It's very inclusive. People just have a good time, and they don't give a crap if they can sing or not. They're just singing and having a good time. And like you say, you tip the bartender or the piano player, they'll play pretty much what you want. And they're good. Their extent of knowledge on all songs, you know, you can do a hip hop song, you can do a reggae song, you can do a rap song, you can do a heavy metal song, and they know how to do it on the piano, which to me is ridiculously impressive. And that's why they have that tip jar there, because they're like, yeah, I know this, pay me to do it.
Well, and I know that there are a lot of cruisers out there who actually follow the piano players on different ships because they love it so much, and they're in there every night, you know, singing their hearts out and listening to the music. So
they will go on a cruise, just like some people go on for the CD or the cruise director. I know a bunch of people that will go on a cruise simply because who is the main star at the piano bar? You walk by the piano bar during the day and it's not open, and the photograph and the name of the person that is the piano player there is on there, because people absolutely love them. I've never personally gotten that much involved in them, but we've been there and it is a good time for sure.
Yeah, I like the piano bars. No matter, even if it's not on Carnival, it could be on other ships, and it's like most of the other ships. I can't say all, only the ones I've been on. They all have their version of it. I can tell you the Icon has the dueling pianos. Oh my gosh, that is awesome to see two piano players with their own talents dueling the other one. Like, I'm gonna do you up because my crowd of people is like my crowd against your crowd, and so forth. And just like you said, they sing and they play usually whatever you put up there, and it doesn't matter. And to me, I think that matters because a lot of people like everything. They don't want to hear the same things over and over again. Even though I can't go to a piano bar without hearing Piano Man. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, of
I
course.
hear Piano Man.
It's a classic.
Yes, exactly. And I have to hear gosh dog it. It's my favorite Queen song.
Ooh, Liz knows pretty much every
It's
Queen
by
song.
Queen.
Under Pressure, Bohemian Rhapsody. Ding, 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 ding. Wait, let her.
Go ahead, sing it. She'll know it.
Oh crap. What is the name of that song? Oh my gosh.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes, thank you. It could not come to me, and I
heard Figaro. I'm like, okay.
Figaro. I love that song. And when I go, I always put those two in there. Doesn't matter. It's going in there. Unless I already hear that someone requested it already and whatever. But
it's like Sweet Caroline. You go to a bar, any bar, and you hear Sweet Caroline.
That's a sing along. That's a sing along.
That gets the crowd going.
Well, that's the sing along, no different than the Cupid Shuffle for the slide on the
Exactly.
Right. Like there's just some staple songs that you're gonna hear in the piano bar, just like you're gonna hear, they're gonna play for the slides during the sail away.
Yeah.
So have you experienced being on a variety of Carnival ships? What has been your favorite piano bar location on what ship? Even if it's just the decor or maybe just the performer.
What was the last ship?
The Legend.
The Legend, yeah. The way they had that positioned, it was actually next to the Alchemy bar.
Okay.
So during the day, the Alchemy and the piano bar were open. It was open to each other, but neither of which was open. But it was literally the piano bar. They closed the Leafs. And it's now a piano bar, and the Alchemy bar.
That the Sunrise?
That was the last ship we were on.
Oh, okay.
She knows better than me, but they were literally next to each other, so I thought that was pretty cool. You can get both environments, and I don't know. It was once they closed those Leaf, it was its own thing. Some of the ones we've been on, the piano bar was so small. It was just. Maybe 30 people can fit in there, and then a couple seats around the bar. And there wasn't actually a bar in the piano bar. They had to go to the bar next to it to service it. So that was the one before.
That's not good.
So there are some where the piano bar is completely enclosed, right? You open the door, you go in, and then close. And then there's somewhere it's like open, and you can walk by it. And then there's like where the piano is and the bar, and then all the open seating. And so it's like two different experiences, because when you're in a closed room, right, it could feel a little tight or a little snug. But when it's open, you can just kind of participate on the periphery and not feel like you're, Yeah, you can walk by and enjoy the music, not have to open that door and go, ooh, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, different ships, different locations, different vibes. That's a great question, actually, because they're in a lot of different locations.
Yeah. I do know that on Royal, the piano is located in Schooner Bar. And so it's similar to that, where it's a big lounge space. The bar is here, similar to the Alchemy, right? The little rounded bar. But then over to the left is the piano. And so different times of the evening, you get someone in there playing. And sometimes it's trivia, and sometimes it's the piano performance and so forth. So very, very different. But I find that the ones with more open or more seating tend to be, for me, when I've attended, is either always been very crowded. But the one that I would go to, and usually if I did, was in the Schooner Bar, only because it had a whole lot more seating. So the ones that are usually closed in, like an actual room, a lounge itself, those usually only hold for so many people, or whatever. But so we talked about the atmosphere, the vibe, what the purpose of the piano bar is. What about the drinks? Because what I remember about the drinks and what I've seen on the menus in terms of the cocktails, they may have, a handful or whatever of certain cocktails mixtures, right? But then most of it, there's a lot more beer offered and so forth. What's been your experiences with the cocktails? Is there a specific cocktail that you like from the piano bar, or is it like and then you prefer a beer, or is it just up in the air, is just whatever?
So my experience with the piano bar is that they have a limited menu where they have some, like, they call them cocktails and ultra cocktails. They have some shooters, they have some martinis. But you can also get like your standard drinks off menu at the bar. So you don't have to stick to that menu. Like if you, like, I just drink vodka soda, and if I want a vodka soda, I can still drink it even though it's not on the menu. They do have a drink there. It's called the Standing O. And that's just vodka with Grey Goose vodka, orange, triple stack, and cranberry juice and lime. And that's like right up my alley. And that's a martini. And so that's the kind of drink that I would order at the piano bar.
Okay.
Yeah, and like Liz said, it's a limited quick drink menu, if you will. So they have them pretty much in the big mixers. They have the alcohol, add the mixer, put the drinks out. But you can get literally anything you want. I like the Don't Stop the Music one myself.
Don't Stop the Music. Okay.
Yes, it's rum. I like rum. That's what I'm currently drinking. But I also like fresh things, and it is the citrus vodka. Oh no, I'm sorry. The regular rum, melon, which I love. So melon liqueur, pineapple juice, and a little bit of starry. So it gives a little bit of fizz to it. But it's a nice, light, airy drink. Me personally, I do love the beers. And like you said, they have a great beer menu there. They have the ship specific on Carnival. They brew a lot of the different beers on ship. I'm an IPA guy. So if I'm going for a beer, it is absolutely an IPA. And their West Coast IPA on the boats is amazing. It's not too, like, you'll get an IPA. It's overly hoppy. You can almost smell the alcohol coming out of your nose. It's too fizzy. Theirs has a very light fizz. My favorite beer of all time is Miller High Life. It's called the champagne of beers for a reason.
Miller High Life.
That's my favorite beer of all time.
Not Coke 45.
Coke 45 is good. It's a small bubble too. It's not a big fizzy one, but it too is a lager like the Miller. But I don't know. The IPAs I love. And on the boat, they, like I said, they brew them. If they're not brewed there, they're brewed right here in Lakeland, Florida, and they're sent on the boat, and they are absolutely delicious.
Okay. Well, in reference to the into the beers, do they have any of the dark ones? I don't like those, but I know some folks who do.
They do.
Like stouts and Jägermeisters or Yingling. How you say it? Because I don't even drink it.
Yingling. Jägermeister, they call it deer blood. It's not a beer. It's some crap that they invented in a different country. It's horrible. They have a Terrapin Moo Stout. which is a very heavy beer. So if you like stouts, if you like Guinness like that, it's good. It's low alcohol. It's very dense. It's very nice. They do have, it's not a stout. This is a standard beer, the Sierra Nevada Hazy IPA, which I love. It's a big can. It's almost 17-ounce can.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get a couple of those, you're like, oh, I'm 3 beers in going.
And run into the bathroom, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I don't.
Definitely.
Depends on the bar. I try not to do many beers because same thing. I'd be like casino. You sit down a slot machine and, ooh,
Now, we went to one of Caesar's casinos. This was, I think this one was in the Cherokees, right? And I don't know if this lady had a diaper on or not, but my sister-in-law was playing this machine, and it was her favorite machine, and it was around where all of the Lynx machines were, and I don't know what it is, but those Lynx machines stay full with people. And there was this lady sitting there. She had coffee, and she had someone bring her coffee. Every time it was empty, they brought it to her. She did not get up from that seat. Now, I don't know what happened after my sister-in-law left, went to bed, ate breakfast, and came back, if the lady was still there or not, but she was still in that same machine with the same clothes on. And I'm thinking, did she not go to the bathroom? I mean, she's drinking coffee. I know she got to go, especially not just number 1. I know you're going number 2 with the coffee. So
you're gonna smell it too.
I don't, I'm like, are you serious? And she said, Tanya, I don't know if the lady went to bed, went to sleep, or maybe she just put on the same clothes. Don't know. But all I know was I left the lady there at 2 a.m. I came back in the casino to go to breakfast to the restaurant, and it was 10 o'clock, and she was still sitting at that tape. She was still sitting at that machine. So, that's
a commitment. There.
Poker players do it. You watch the poker tournaments on TV. So yeah, there's editing, but if you go to the actual Vegas casinos and they have those poker tournaments, there is grown ass men and women in diapers sitting there for hours. I'm like, I love gambling. I'm getting up to go to the bathroom.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
I'm not putting a diaper on at any given point in time so I can play a slot machine. That happened.
So in that drink you said that had melon in it, rum and melon. Was that green melon liquor?
It's the melon they call it.
Midori?
So,
Is it that green stuff?
Yeah, it doesn't say Midori because they can't advertise that. They use it's probably De Kuyper melon liqueur.
Let me tell you something. The Midori one, I can only speak for that one. He gave me the shits. It just did. It did. It just did. I got it because Lynette and Stanley swore by this new green version of the Long Island iced tea. I forgot what they called it. And I went out and bought the liqueur. And I don't drink Long Island iced teas because I drink the drink for flavor, right? So I figured, well, maybe since it has the liqueur in it that does have a flavor, it's going to give it a little taste. Because when you drink a Long Island iced tea, you're either tasting the soda and the lime. You're not tasting the actual cocktail. Right. And I made it, and all I know is bubble guts right after. And my husband said, well, maybe it wasn't that. I said, okay. So then another time I made it again. And I said, yep, it's that green melon liqueur is just a little bit too much. So I just had to ask you that. I wasn't sure if you've had the same experience.
Yeah. You're we call it poop black. Because when you eat a lot of Fruity Pebbles, stuff like that has a lot of dye in it, your poop changes color. And I went in there and I looked and went, oh my God.
Oh,
we're like,
what
did you drink last night? And it was a bunch of, just like you said, the dyed liquors. So it didn't affect my gut. It affected the other side, but
Ooh.
Yeah.
When you said melon, I was like, ooh, I gotta ask him about this. See what that was like. But
it's the dyes and the liquor. It's like the blue carousel, stuff like that. It's a lot of dye in there, and it's simply the orange liqueurs. That's it with dyes.
Pretty much. That's
I don't
true.
know. I can drink Midori and not have an issue. So
Okay. Well, she got the strong gut.
well,
She just got the strong gut.
sweet. It's too sweet for
It's
me.
very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also saw that they have mocktails. And,
Yes.
I forgot to mention, and this is just for everyone out there, the Alchemy Bar also has mocktails, but this one also has a 0 proof cocktails. I'm just wondering, when they say 0 proof, are they just making the drink just with no alcohol, like no alcohol period, or are they making it with a 0 proof spirit? You know what I mean? Or are they just making it just with the juices and the citruses and so forth? Do you know?
Yeah. So like Alchemy used to have a 0 proof liquor that they would put in. But I think looking at the menu for Piano Bar, it just seems to be no liquor at all.
Right.
Even 0 and it's like you pay almost full price for a 0 proof mocktail. So
it's essentially the drink mixes and stuff like that. So they call it 0 proof alcohol, which is known as juice.
Correct.
And you're getting a cup of juice. So I guess if you wanted a drink that tastes like it, they're going to put the grenadine in there. They're going to put the, the OJ, the stuff like that. So it tastes like you're getting a mixed drink. And quite honestly, at some bars you go to, you'll have a drink and have 3 later going, did you guys forget the liquor in here? You know what I mean? So
right.
It's about the same thing. So if you want to enjoy a 0 alcohol cocktail, then yes, it's essentially the drinks with the mixes without actual vodka, rum, or whatever liquor's in there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I can tell you, I don't mind mocktails, but I don't mind mocktails on days where, like, if you just don't want to drink, then just don't drink anything. Like, don't even bother with a mocktail. I mean, if you just want it to look pretty, I mean, you can add garnishing on a thing of juice or some soda and make it look like a drink. You don't need to spend extra money for someone to mix all these other mixtures in it, or whatever. But I have tasted some real good mocktails that actually taste like people put a little effort into whatever it was to give you, but I just don't think it should cost the same thing as a cocktail.
I agree.
I agree. I have non-alcoholic beer in my fridge pretty much at all times. So the day I want to have a beer, but I don't want to have the alcohol, I'm going to have a non-alcoholic beer. And let me tell you, they've gotten a hell of a lot better than back in the day. I think it was O'Doul's, right? That was the only non-alcoholic beer. Everybody in their mother, sisters, brothers, fathers, uncle, every company has a NA beer. And some of them are actually getting pretty good. Some of them, they suck.
Yeah, I did what was it, September last year? I did a whole mocktail month. And I'm not a beer drinker, but when I do, it has to be like ice cold. And it has to be like a pale ale, like a Heineken or Corona or something like that. The Heineken and the Corona 0 proofs, my husband said, if no one told me, I couldn't tell you that it was 0 proof at all.
The one thing I will say, they skunk out a lot quicker. So if they're not kept cold, if they're like cold then warm, then cold then warm, you get that skunky smell and that taste a lot quicker. But the Corona was amazing. If you like a IPA, Sam Adams makes one. It's called Just a Haze, and it's not as bitter. All of the non-alcoholic ones I noticed are much sweeter than your traditional beers, but it's actually really tasty. So I was impressed. I really was. It's good for those days where you're like, no, what? I don't need alcohol, but I want to taste the beer. So
okay. Well, in reference to the piano bars, folks, that's all we have for you on this segment. Join us on the next Sips on Ships for the Atrium Bar. Everybody knows the Atrium Bar, right? But there are some pretty good cocktails on there. So join us next month for the Atrium Bar on Sips on Ships. See you all later. See you, Chris and Liz. See you next time. Bye.
Let's have a toast for the real ones, for the real ones, for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real one. For the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. For the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Yeah. Have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. For the real ones. For the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Have a toast for the real.